Hello everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I'm playing Sunset Overdrive here, and I'm going to be showing you how to do some basic movements in this game. Now, these are limited to the very basic stuff, like no boosting, no air dashes, no super jumps, just grinding, under rail grinding, and bouncing. First of all, there are three things here that you can grind on, and they kind of connect into each other, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. First is the sign, and then you have the rope here, and then the outside of the building. Now, basically, the way you start a grind, like I did right there, you just jump and you press X near something that you can grind on, and then it just kind of starts. And the other thing is that it will go on forever, so you don't have to hold forward or anything like that. You always keep the same amount of momentum. Now, of course, there is boosting, so you can go faster. Oh, alright. Some mutants coming up here. But yeah, that's grinding. Just kind of grind around. Now, you can change direction. Like you see right there, I can either go right or left, which is basically just keep going straight. They're really starting to attack me here. So I'll go straight this time. And as you see, I'm now on the open area where there's nothing beneath me. And now what you can do is you can press X, which makes you drop underneath it. Which obviously you couldn't do when you're standing on the building. And if you go into a building like this, you just bounce right off. So if you're trying to get on top of a building, before you get there, just flip back up and then you'll go back over. And then if you press X in the opposite direction, or square in the opposite directions if you play it on PlayStation, you will turn around. So you'll roll backwards on it. And this is fine when you're doing it without boost, but when you start boosting, it gets pretty hard. And, like, there's a herker down there. Or no, wait, I think that's a spawner. Yeah, it's definitely a spawner. Whoa, alright. It's gonna knock you off. Which, I guess, brings me to the next point. If you press B while you're on here, you can hit enemies. And that works, obviously, if you're under the rail as well. Now this, going underneath it, only really matters if there are enemies or spikes or something like that that's blocking your way. Otherwise, it's kind of just a show thing. See, now with these rails right here, obviously with the building, you start on top of it, but well, these guys just go away. They keep coming after me. I'm just going to go to another area that doesn't have those guys there. But yeah, so it is another good example. The railing right here, if you go to grind on it, you're obviously only going to be able to grind on the top. Now the phone lines up here, if you go from underneath of it, you'll hook on from the bottom. So as you see right there, you pull out a crowbar and you hook onto it. If you come in from the top, you'll hook on the top. So it's a lot of placement when it comes to these wires. Most of the time, you'll want to be on top of it because it have more range, but it depends really on whichever one you can grab. Like right there, if you let it go a little bit, you can just grab the bottom. Now, while you're grinding on any platform, like right here, I'm on the railing, and now I'm moving over the phone lines, if you aim, which is left trigger, you will slow down time a little bit. Like right there, you see it kind of pause. It doesn't slow it down exponentially, but when you're boosting, it really helps out. Like right now, when you go to slow it down, as you can see, it helps you aim a little bit, but when you're going really fast, it definitely helps. Now moving on to the platforms that you can grind on, there's obviously stuff like this, which is the railings, and then you have the railings on buildings. And then even the sides of the buildings themselves you can grind on. So let me show you over here. Well, bam. Grind on that. And then billboards, like right up here, you can grind on that as well. And then if you come across semis like this, you can grind on that. So anything that looks like a railing, you can essentially grind on. And there's also tops of buildings that you wouldn't think you'd grind on that you can also grind on as well. Like here, it kind of looks like you can grind on it. So it's pretty obvious, but there are ones that kind of just look like a flat roof, and you can still do it. So yeah, try it as much as you want. Alright, now moving on to bouncing, showing off the things you can bounce on. Here is a dumpster, that is a bouncing material. And then anytime you see something like this, which is a vent, jump on that, bounce on that as well. And then the car over here, this umbrella, this thing as well, you can bounce on that. And a lot of stuff, like you see the canopy here, a lot of stuff will look like you can't bounce on it, and you still can. Like this canopy up here. Gonna climb on that. Bounce off that. Bounce off this. Do an infinite wall run here. Going to move on to wall running next. And then right here, like a stack of boxes, you can bounce on this too. So it doesn't really have to look like you can bounce on it. You just have to know from bouncing on it previously. Also, fountains of water. You can bounce on that as well. Don't ask why. You just can. There's a lot of monsters here, so it's making it a little hard to show off this stuff. Oh, man. They are really not letting up here. Let me show off some weapons while I'm at it. Ooh, level up. Nice. Get away. Whoa, alright. Okay, you done? Oh, I guess not. I guess not. Whoa, man. Back off. Trying to do something here. Alright, we good? We good? Okay, I think they'll just stay down there. Anyway, if you see a wall that's low enough, like right here, you can jump and press A again, and you'll bounce over it. And then you can obviously combo that with stuff like the canopy here. Going to show some of that. Whoa, wrong direction there. Alright, going to jump on this. Wow, come on. Cut it out. Anyway, you jump on here, then bounce off that, then bounce off this, and you can just keep it going. Well, bam. Bounce off there, get a grind here, get a grind there, get a grind everywhere. You can shoot down like that, change directions. Ooh, you can go anywhere. So yeah, another thing that you need to really learn before you start grinding and stuff like that is that you have to press X every time. If I just jump from here to go on to the next one, you just fall right through it. So every time you go to move from platform to platform, you have to press X again. Alright, so I showed off the grinding and the bouncing, and now time to move on to wall running, which is actually the least movement that I use in this game. I'm usually grinding. Alright, now we're going to get some momentum going in here. Going to shoot over here. When you go near a wall, you just press X and you start running on it. And then you just fall over the other side of the wall. And again, as I was saying, if you don't press X, then you will not continue. So the same thing applies to wall running, like I'll show you right here. You come at the wall, if these guys will stop chasing me, and you're running, and that's good. And then you press X when you reach the corner, and you loop around. If you don't press X, you'll just kind of fall off the side. So remember, always press X when you're going to switch platforms. And that applies to everything except for bouncing. Bouncing, you just have to either press A on the object. Well, speaking of changing directions, have to go back to get those shoes. But you either have to press A on the object, or you just have to be in the air and touch the object. Either one works. Does not apply to grinding. I say again, you have to press X every time. Now I'm going to try to find an area where you can chain all of these together. Let's see. I need a long wall, and I need an area for grinding. If these guys would stop chasing me, that would also help very much. I guess this area will work. I'm just going to go ahead and try it here. Alright, now time to put all the movement in motion. First, you're going to grind here, and then you're going to jump over here. Remember to press X again, and jump over to this side, jump over the wall, jump on the canopy, another canopy, the vents, a car, jump on this, then you're going to jump over here, start wall running on this, flip around to the other side, remember, keep pressing X, and yeah, that's pretty much the basics. Just going to wall run around here. Oh, forgot to press X again. But yeah, so you have the basics right there. Always remember, when you go to grind on something, press X. When you go to wall run, press X. And whenever you change formats, like if you're going from wall running to grinding or from grinding to grinding, you have to press X again. So yeah, hope that helps a little bit. Now this one is basically just showing what you can and can't grind and bounce on. The advanced tutorial is going to bring up some crazy stuff. I'm going to turn around on there, drop under, grab the shoes, and stuff like that. This is more of what I'm going to be going into the basics. But like if you're chasing around and you're trying to get somebody in the line of sight, you just keep going back and forth like this, maybe slowing it down a little bit, dropping under to get some style bonuses. That's another reason why you would want to ride underneath it. Like right here, there's a guy under there, so you want to stay on top. Now if someone's standing on top of it, obviously you want to go underneath it. Or you can turn around and melee them while they're underneath here, like that. Knock them off, kill them. There are a lot of enemies crowding around down here. Go finish them off with a ground pound. But yeah, so the advanced tutorial is going to show off some more things, like when you jump on a car, you see how much bounce I get? You press A at the right moment when you hit it, you do a super bounce like this. And then when you're in mid-air, you can press RB and use an air dash. Now that opens up some crazy opportunities. And while you're on here, if you press RB, you do another dash. I'm not going to go into it too far, because then there would be no point making the advanced tutorial video. But you can keep a dash going, and a dash only ends when you land on the ground. Like, if you were to grind on here and then dash, everything you hit from this point on, you'll still keep the dash momentum. It only stops when you either run out of dash, like if you grind too long without dashing again, or if you land on the ground. And this game has a lot to do with not being on the ground. As you can see, you are really slow when you're just walking around, and you really have to be grinding or bouncing to keep momentum going. So yeah, the game, it doesn't really punish you for walking around and shooting like this, or not like that. It doesn't really punish you for walking around and shooting like this, because you can still have movement with the roll here. But yeah, it definitely rewards you for going around and bouncing and dashing and stuff like that. So when you play this game, definitely play it trying to focus on stuff like this, because you will get style points, and with style points, you can use your powers. Like when you slam the ground, you'll shoot out a shockwave, or when you use your melee, you'll shoot out a fireball. Which I'll show you by getting my style up to 2 here. Woohoo! Gotta dodge that. Also, you can grind on the train tracks here. So yeah, keep an eye out for train tracks. Wait for this. There we go. Now it's up to style level 2. Now every time I use a melee attack, it shoots a fireball. And when I slam the ground, it shoots a shockwave. Now you don't start out with those. You actually have to unlock those. And you can change out which ones you want. These guys are really annoying. You just have to press B to knock them away. You see a little pop there. Yeah, this game is definitely a contender for the Game of the Year. I'm really having fun with it. But anyway, not to drag this video out any longer than it needs to, I'm going to be coming back with most likely an Evolve Let's Play, which today I'm going to be playing it, and it's going to be amazing, because I was invited into the alpha, and I actually got 3 alpha codes, so I already gave those away, and then I kept one for myself. So yeah, that's going to be really cool, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to record a video the first time I ever play as the monster. I might play as the hunters by myself without recording it, but when I play the monster, I definitely want to record that, because I'm sure that's going to be a very crazy game. Alright, anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.